Well, shouldn't we do anything?
Oh, my dear, you should do a lot of things. There's nothing to do. Go to bed.
Well, I never heard him so loud, Mom.
Come around more often, you'll hear him.
Why didn't you ever write me about this?
How would I write to you? For over 3 months, you've had no address.
I was on the move, but I thought of you all the time, that.
I know, dear, I know. But he likes to have a letter just to know there's still the possibility of better things.
Well, he's not like this all the time.
It's when you come home, he's always the worst.
When I come home?
When you write you're coming, he's all smiles. He talks about the future. He's just wonderful. Then the closer you come, the more shaky he gets. And by the time you get here, he's arguing. He seems to be angry at you. I think it's just because he can't bring himself to open up to you. Now, why are you so hateful to each other?
Hateful.
Why? Oh, you know sooner walk through that door than you're fighting.
Well, I don't know why. I mean to change, Mom. I'm trying. You understand?
Are you home to stay now?
I don't know. I'll look around, see what's doing.
You can't look around all your life, can you?
Well, I just can't take hold, Mom. I can't take hold of some kind of life.
Biff, a man is not a bird to come and go with the springtime.
Your hair. Your hair's getting so gray.
Oh, it's been gray since you were in high school. I just stopped dyeing it, that's all.
Well, dye it again, will you? Well, I don't want my pal looking old.
You are such a boy. You think you can go away for a year? Biff, you've got to get it into your head now. One day you're gonna knock on this door, there'll be strange people here.
Mom, what are you talking about? You're not even 60 yet.
What about your father?
Well, I meant him, too.
He admires Pop.
If you don't have any feeling for him, you can't have any feelings for me.
Sure I can.
No, Biff. You can't just come to see me because I love him. He's the dearest man in the world to me, and I won't have anyone making him feel unwanted and low and blue. You have got to make up your mind now, darling. There's no leeway anymore. Either he's your father, and you pay him that respect, or else you're not to come here.
What the hell is the matter with him? Mom, stop making
near
excuses for him. He always wiped the floor with you. Never had an ounce of respect for you.
He always had respect for her.
What the hell do you know about it?
Just don't call him crazy.
He's got no character. Charlie wouldn't do this, not in his own house, spewing out that vomit from his mind.
Charlie never had to cope with what he's got.
People are worse off than Willie Loman. Believe me, I've seen it.
Then make Charlie your father, Biff. You can't do that, can you? I am not saying he's a great man. Willie Loman never earned a lot of money. His name was never in the paper. He's not the finest character that ever lived. But he's a human being. And a terrible thing is happening to him. So attention must be paid. He must not be allowed to fall into his grave like an old dog. Attention. Attention must finally be paid to such a person. You called him crazy?
Mom, I didn't...
Wait a minute. A lot of people think he's lost his balance, but you don't have to be very smart to know what his trouble is. The man is exhausted.
Sure.
A small man can be just as exhausted as a great man. He works for a company. 36 years this March. He opens up unheard of territories to their trademark, and now, in his old age, they take his salary away.
I didn't know that, Mom.
You never asked, my dear. Now that you get your spending money somewhere else, you don't trouble your mind with him.
I gave you money.
Oh, Christmas time, $50. To fix the hot water, it costs $97.50. For 5 weeks, he's been on straight commission like a beginner, an unknown.
Those ungrateful bastard.
Are they any worse than his sons? He drives 700 miles. And when he gets there, no one knows him anymore. No one welcomes him. And what goes through a man's mind driving 700 miles home without having earned a cent? Why shouldn't he talk to himself? Why not? When he has to go to Charlie every week and borrow $50 from him and pretend to me it's his pay. Now, how long can that go on? How long? And you tell me he has no character? The man who never worked a day in his life but for your benefit. And when does he get the medal for that? Is this his reward? To turn around at the age of 63 and find his sons, who he loved better than his life, one a philandering bum.
Mom.
That is all you are, my baby. And you. What happened to the love you had for him? You were such pals. How you used to talk every night on the phone. How lonely he was till he could come home to you.
All right, Mom. I'll live here in my room. I'll get a job. I'll just keep away from him, that's all.
No, Biff. You can't stay here and fight all the
Mom,
time.
he threw me out of this house, remember that?
All right, why did he do that? I never knew
Because
why.
I know he's a fake and he doesn't like anybody around who
Fake?
knows.
In what way? What do you mean?
Just don't lay it all at my feet, Mom. It's between me and him. That's all I have to say. Look, I'll chip in from now on. He'll settle for half my paycheck. He'll be all right. I'm going to bed.
He won't be all right.
I hate this city and I'll stay here. No, what do you want?
He's dying, Biff.
Why is he dying?
He's been trying to kill himself.
How?
Do you remember I wrote you that he smashed up the car again in February?
Well?
The insurance inspector came. He says there's evidence that all the accidents in the last year weren't accidents.
How can they tell me? That's a lie.
It seems there's a woman, and this
What
woman...
woman?
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
What did you say?
Nothing. I said what woman?
What about her?
Well, it seems she was walking down the road. She said she saw his car. She said he wasn't driving fast at all. He didn't skid. She said he came to that little bridge and he deliberately smashed into the railing, and it was just the shallowness of the water that saved him.
Mom, he probably just fell asleep again.
No. I don't think he fell asleep.
Why not?
Last month... Oh, boys, it's so hard to say a thing like this. I was looking for a fuse. The lights blew out. I went down the cellar. And behind the fuse box, it just happened to fall out, was this length of rubber pipe just short.
No kidding.
There's an attachment on the end of it. I knew right away, and sure enough, on the bottom of the hot water heater, there's a new little nipple on the gas pipe.
That jerk.
Well, did you have it taken off?
I'm ashamed to. How can I mention it to him? Every day, I go down and I take away that little rubber pipe. But when he comes home, I put it back where it was. How can I insult him that way? It sounds so silly and old-fashioned, but I tell you, he's put his whole life into you. And you've turned your backs on him. Biff, his life is in your hands.
You're like the damn fool.
All right. Pal, all right. It's settled now. I've been remiss. I know that, but now I'll stay, and I swear to you, Mom, I'll apply myself. It's just that, see, I don't fit in business. Not that I won't try. I'll try, and I'll make good.
Sure
but,
you will. Trouble with you in business was you never tried to please people.
Yeah,
it's like when you worked for
I know.
Harrison. Bob Harrison, he said you were tops. Then you go and do some damn fool thing like whistling whole songs in the elevator like a comedian.
Well, so what? I like to whistle sometimes.
You don't raise a guy to a responsible job who whistles in the elevator.
Oh, don't argue about
When
it
you go
now.
off for a swim in the middle of the day instead of taking the
Oh,
line.
and you don't take off? You run off sometimes, don't you, on a nice summer day?
Yeah, sure, but I cover myself.
Oh,
What do you-
boys.
No,
You
Biff,
do what?
Biff. I'm gonna tell you something that I hate to say. In the business world, some of them think you're crazy.
Screw the
Happy.
business world.
Right, screw them. Great, but cover
I
yourself.
don't care what they think. They have laughed at Dad for years. And you know why? Because we don't belong in this nut house of a city. We should be mixing cement somewhere on some open plain or carpenters. A carpenter is allowed to whistle.
Even your grandfather was better than a carpenter. You never grew up. Bernard does not whistle in the elevator, I assure you.
Yeah, but you do.
I never in my life whistled in an elevator. And who in the business world thinks I'm crazy?
Dad, I didn't mean it like that. No, don't make a whole thing out of it.
Go back to the West, be a carpenter, a cowboy. Enjoy yourself.
Willie, he was just saying...
I heard what he
Hey,
said.
Pop, come on now, huh?
They laugh at me, huh? Go to Filene's, go to the Hub, go to Slattery's Boston, and call out the name Willie Loman. See what happens. Big shot.
All right, Pop.
Big.
All right.
Why do you always insult me?
Dad, I didn't say a word. Did I say a word?
He didn't say anything, Willie.
All right, good night. Good night.
Willie, he's just decided...
You get tired hanging around tomorrow, paint the ceiling I put up in the living room.
I'm leaving early tomorrow, Pop.
He's gonna see Bill Oliver, Pop.
Oliver. For what?
Well, he always said he'd stake me, and I'd like to go into business, so maybe I'll take him up on it.
Isn't that wonderful?
Don't interrupt. What's wonderful about it? There's 50 men in the city of New York that stake him. Sporting goods?
Well, I guess so. I know something about it. And...
He knows something about it. You know sporting goods better than Spaulding, for God's sake. How much is he giving you?
I don't know, Pop. I haven't seen him
Then
yet.
what are you talking about?
Dad, all I said was I was going to go see him.
Ah, you're counting your chickens again.
Jeez.
Don't curse in this house.
Since when did you get so clean?
Don't use that language to me. I won't have it.
I got an idea. I got a feasible idea. Now, Biff, let's talk this over. Let's talk a little sense here. Now, Biff. When I was down in Florida last time, I thought of a great idea to sell sporting goods. It just came back to me. It's you and I, Biff. See, we have a line. The Loman line. Now, we train a couple weeks, put on a couple of exhibitions.
That's an
See,
idea.
Wait, we form 2 basketball teams, 2 water polo teams. Yeah, we play each other. It's $1 million worth of publicity. See? 2 brothers, see? Huh? The Loman brothers. Baby, we could sell sporting goods.
That is a $1 million idea.
Marvelous.
I'm in great shape as far as that's concerned.
And the beauty of it is, Biff, it wouldn't be like a business at all. We'd be out playing ball again.
Hap, that's what I was talking
And you wouldn't get fed up with it, Biff. See, it'd be the family again. Huh? There'd
Like
be
the world, you guys together could absolutely lick the civilized world.
Hap, I'll see Oliver tomorrow. If we could work that out.
Oh, I think everything is great.
Stop interrupting, but don't wear a sports jacket and slacks when you see
No.
Oliver. A business suit and talk as little as possible, and don't crack any jokes.
Hey, he did like me. Always liked me.
Oh, he loved you.
Will you stop? Walking very serious. You're not applying for a boy's job. Money is to pay. Shh. Be quiet, fine, and serious. Everybody likes a kidder, but nobody lends them money.
I'll try to get some myself, Biff. I'm sure I can.
Oh, I see great things for you kids. I think your troubles are over. But remember, start big and you'll end big. Ask for 15. How much are you gonna ask for?
Gee, I don't
Oh,
know.
and don't say G. G is a boy's word. A man walking in for $15,000 does not say
Well,
G.
10, I think, would be
Don't
top,
be so
though.
modest. You always started too low. Walking with a big laugh. Don't look worried. Start off with a couple of your good stories to lighten things up. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Because personality always wins the day.
Oliver always thought the highest.
Will you let me talk?
Dad, stop yelling at her, will you?
I was talking, wasn't I? Huh?
I know, I just don't like you yelling at her all the time, and I'm telling you, that's all.
What, are you taking over this house?
Oh, Willie, he didn't mean.
Don't take his side all the time, damn it!
Stop yelling at her.
My best to Bill Oliver. He may remember me.
Why did you have to start that? Did you see how sweet he was as soon as you talked hopefully? Go up. Say goodnight to him. Don't let him go to bed that way.
Hey, come on, Biff. Let's buck him up.
Please, dear. It takes so little to make him happy. Come. Your pajamas are hanging in the bathroom, Willie.
What a woman. They broke the mold when they made her. You know that, Biff?
Hap, he's off salary. My God, working on commission?
Yeah, well, let's face it. He's no hotshot selling man. Except that sometimes you gotta admit he's a sweet personality.
Let me $10, will you? I'm gonna buy some new ties.
I'll take you to a place I know. Beautiful stuff. Wear one of my striped shirts tomorrow.
Mom got so gray. She got awful old. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna see Oliver tomorrow and I'm gonna knock him.
Well, come on up and tell that to Dad. Let's give him a whirl, huh?
You know, with $10,000 bucks. Boy.
You know, Biff, that's the first time I've heard the old confidence out of you. You're gonna live with me, kid. And I'm telling you, any babe you want, you say the word.
Can you do something about the shower? It drips.
Oh, all of a sudden, everything falls to pieces. That damn plumbing, you know, they ought to be sued, those people. I hardly finished
I was
putting
just
it in.
wondering
The thing,
if Oliver will remember him. Now, do you think he might?
Remember him? What is the matter with you? Are you crazy? If he'd have stayed with Oliver, he'd be on top by now. You wait till Oliver gets a look at him. You see, you don't know the average caliber anymore. The average young man today has got a caliber of 0. Greatest thing in the world for him was
Willie.
to bum up.
Willie.
Glad to hear it, boy.
You wanted to say goodnight to you, sport.
Oh, yeah, you knock him dead, boy. You... What do you want to tell me?
Just take it easy, Pop. Good night.
And if anything falls off the desk while you're talking to him, like a package or something, don't you pick it up. They have office boys for that.
I'll make a big breakfast.
Will you let me finish? You tell him that you were in the business in the West, not farm work.
All right, Dad, I will.
I think everything's gonna be...
And don't undersell yourself. No less than $15,000.
Okay. Good night, Mom.
Because you got a greatness in you. Biff! Remember that. You got all kinds of greatness.
Sleep well, darling.
I'm gonna get married, Mom. I wanted to tell you.
Go to sleep, dear.
I just wanted to tell you.
Keep up the good work. Do you remember that Ebbets Field game, that the championship of the city?
Just rest, dear. Should I sing to you?
Yeah, you sing to me. You know, when that team came out, he was the tallest. You remember?
All in gold.
Oh, like a young god. Hercules, something like that. And the sun all around him. Remember how he waved to me? Right up from the field with the representatives of 3 colleges standing by, and the buyers I brought, and the chance when he came out. Oh man. God Almighty, he'll be great yet. A star like that, magnificent, can never really fade away. Oh, boy.
Willie. Dear. What has he got against you?
I'm so tired, don't talk anymore.
Will you ask Howard to let you work in New York?
Oh, first thing in the morning, everything will be all right. Gee. Look at the moon moving between the buildings.